Hello, everyone, and welcome to our latest online event here at the University of California, Merced. We are so excited to have you here tonight as we get ready to present to you information about next steps for admitted students. My name is Ricky Hill, and I am the e-recruiter here at UC Merced. And as I said, we are so excited to have you here for this great presentation tonight. Before we get started, I'd like to offer you a couple of quick tips and reminders about Zoom. If you need to adjust your audio settings, you can do that down in the left corner of your screen. If you'd like to adjust the size of your window at any point, and maybe you'd like to zoom in to something a bit closer that we do offer you during our presentation tonight, you can do that by clicking View Options in the upper portion of your screen. Lastly, and always most importantly, we are here and fully staffed with all of our content experts behind the scenes. We are ready to get to your questions tonight. Take full advantage of the Q&A button on your screen. Send in those questions. Our fast fingers behind the scenes will be getting to those as we go, but we also will have a live question and answer session at the end of this fantastic event tonight. So we may be getting to those then as well. Once again, my name is Ricky Hill. We're so thrilled that you could join us tonight as we get ready to talk about next steps for admitted students. At this time, I'd like to hand things over to my friend and colleague, Nancy.
Thank you, Ricky. My name is Nancy Olguin. I am the Admissions Transfer Advisor here at UC Merced for the South Central Valley. I'm a Los Angeles native, but I also graduated from UC Merced in 2021. I'm going to be going over some of the stuff we're going to be going over today. For the agenda, we have Fast Facts. We have Connect to Connect, What's Next for Admitted Students, Financial Aid Overview, Fall 23 Housing, Timeline, and Final Remarks. So to get started, we are the heart of California here at UC Merced. We're basically building the future for our next generation. We have a little over 9,000 students enrolled and over 200 clubs and organizations for you to explore and join. Some of those include social justice initiatives, student government, women's programs, go-kart racing, cultural clubs, dance team, and many, many more. Most student clubs and organizations were also started by students themselves, so they wanted to connect with the people that they had similar interests with. If you don't find an interest with one of our clubs, you can always create one as well. On this slide, you can see some of our a few rankings that we have accumulated over the years, including 42nd in the top 100 universities in the nation among public institutions, and number 1 in the nation for percentage of students who receive need-based financial aid, among many others. On this next slide, you can see a few things that we have to offer here at Merced. Since UC Merced has grown, the town of Merced has also grown. We have over 175 places for you to eat, including Mazer, which stands in the center of downtown Merced. It was recently renovated in 2021, and it's a really cool architectural features with today's amenities. It's the perfect place to be with friends, eat, play arcade games, watch sports games, and they even have events every month like drag night, live bands, and they can also play your favorite movies while you dine. We also have our newest addition to Merced called Joystick. It's also located in downtown Merced, but it's a vintage arcade center with full dining options, and it's a great place to hang out with your friends and play some arcade games, pool, and many more. As I mentioned, we're in the heart of California, including having Yosemite Lake about a 5-minute walk from campus. Something really cool about Lake Yosemite is that they have you rent out kayaks as well as paddle boards to use for an hour to a full day. And the best part is that it's really affordable. I myself, I know will be taking this opportunity in the summer when it gets pretty hot out here and be able to have some fun, even do a barbecue as well. If you want to go to Yosemite National Park, we also are the only UC that has a partnership with them, and you can get in for free. We have a bus that will take you there directly with a free entry, and you can explore the parks as well. Some of the other things that you can see on your screen is the Merced Theater. We have our Playhouse here at Merced, which some of our students do plays on there as well. On this next slide, you'll be able to see where we are. So like I said, we're in the heart of California, as we like to say. If you don't want to stay local for the weekend, you can always explore outside of Merced as well. You're within driving distance or a short Amtrak ride from going to San Francisco, Santa Cruz, Monterey Bay, Sacramento, and many more. Or if you want to take a longer break, you can always go down to Los Angeles, San Diego, Santa Barbara, Palm Springs, and many other cities in Southern California. I know when I was a student, I personally explored half of these for my first time as well. My friends and I rented out a zip car on campus and were able to go to San Francisco for the day. And I was able to visit for my first time. Including these, we also have our Gold Country, as well as the Dodge Ridge and China Peak ski resorts. So we have all of these amenities pretty close by to Merced. On the next slide. These are some of our undergraduate students. So we have a little over 9,000 students. Out of those students, 67% are first generation like myself. And 92 of our students are populated within their first year students. Within the schools, we have 43% for the School of Social Sciences, Humanities, and Arts, or as we like to call it, Shaw, 30% for our School of Engineering, 25% for the School of Natural Sciences, and 3% undeclared. We're also a diverse campus, as you can see on your screen, and because of our diversity, we are now an Asian American, Native American, Pacific Islander serving institution, as well as a Hispanic serving institution. On the next slide, you'll be able to see our remarkable growth and our beautiful campus. On your screen, you can see an aerial view of our campus that has expanded over the past couple of years. Our 2020 project was a 4-year project, which we were able to add teaching, research, and housing and student support facilities. Within those, we now have new academic and research labs, new computational labs. We have a lot more student housing, and the really cool about these housing options is that the classrooms are on the bottom floor and your dorm is above. So if you happen to have a class in that same building, you can just go downstairs for class. We have new student life facilities, a competition, swimming pool, and athletics field, which now lets us add both men and women water polo and track, a new wellness center, research greenhouse, and a transit hub as well. On the next slide. This slide is very important. Please make sure that you're keeping this information on your screen up to date, which includes your mailing address, your telephone number, and your email address. It's important because you want to keep up with the most, you want to be kept up with the most updated and new information, and we want to ensure that we're getting that information out to you as well. So whenever you have some time, please go to your portal and update this on the icon that says My Personal Info. This also includes all current applicants, regardless of your SIR status as well. On the next slide, we have our admitted events and activities. Now that you've been admitted and have learned a little bit about our beautiful campus, you might be wondering what now? Well, you already did the hard part, and that was applying. Now you can follow these steps and participate in our events to learn more. You can go to our UC Merced admitted website or scan the QR code on screen. In the next few slides, I will also be going over some ways you can participate and visit us. On this next slide is our tours. If you haven't done so already, please visit us and take a tour. We are available for in-person tours and are open for those 7 days a week from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. But if you can't make it to our campus, we also offer interactive virtual tours, live tours, and self-guided tours. You can visit our website at tours.ucmerced.edu, which is on our screen, to book it, or you can scan the QR code also on our screen, and it will take you directly to our website. On the next slide, we are so excited to have our transfer day. We'll be having 2 dates available. One is on Wednesday, May 18th, and the next one would be Saturday, May 20th. Transfer Day is for our admitted transfer students and families to be able to visit and explore our campus and be able to learn about the academic and student life, as well as opportunities that we have to offer. We will have 2 sessions for Transfer Day. The first one would be from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and the second session is from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. If you have any questions regarding Transfer Day, please do not hesitate to contact the transfer team. On the next slide is our UC Merced Connect. UC Merced Connect platform serves as a digital gateway to UC Merced, offering access to campus resources, information, and personalized messaging. Some of the things that this platform include is being able to log into your UC Merced Net ID, information and messages about our campus events, as well as new ways to connect with campus news, information about dining, parking and transportation, campus tours, and much more. Your UC Merced Connect or your portal is the one place where you can access all of your records, billing, my degree path, financial aid information, and so much more. I highly recommend and encourage you to download the app on your phone and other devices so you can have access to it whenever you may need to. And on the next slide, I'll be showing you how to claim your Net ID. To claim your Net ID, you will need to input your personal ID, your personal email or your mobile phone, and you'll be sent a link with a code. After you receive the code, you can input it and claim your account. And then after you have claimed your account, you can choose your Net ID, as you can see on the screen here. And then you can also create a password, but make sure it's one that you can remember, and then that way you can claim it, and that's pretty much it. If you're having any issues or trouble claiming your Net ID, please contact our Students First Center. On the next slide, we have Dual Mobile. So this is our 2-factor authentication. Before you get started, you'll need the following: either your computer, you'll need your UC Merced Net ID. So before you do Dual Mobile, make sure you've already claimed your Net ID as well as the password. You can use your smartphone or other sign-in options available. This includes tablets or any other mobile device, as well as access to your phone's app store. If you want to protect your personal information, you will need to download and use Dual Mobile. You can scan the QR code on your screen and it'll take you directly to our website with the step-by-step on how to use it and set it up. After you're claimed your Net ID, you can download Dual on your phone and start to use it. You can also use it on your laptop, desktops, or tablets. If you can't scan the QR code, you can also search up UC Merced 2-factor and it'll be the first link as well. And I'll be now passing it over to my colleague Sheila, who'll be going over the next steps for admitted students.
Thank you, Nancy. Hello, everyone. My name is Sheila Zhang, and I'm the Assistant Director of Transfer Initiatives for the Office of Admissions at UC Merced. Just like Nancy, I am also a UC Merced alumna, class of 2015, and also a local born and raised Mercedian. All right, so now let's talk about the admitted student next steps. Many of you might be wondering what the next steps look like now that you've been admitted. You might be also wondering how to keep track of all of these dates and deadlines and just the things you have to do to keep your admission. The UC Merced Office of Admissions does have an admitted students website to help you navigate through these steps. On this page, you'll see the different steps that you need to do in order to ensure your admission decision, such as accepting your SIR, completing any placement exams, submitting your statement of intent to register. There are also dates and information for how to register for your classes, orientation, and for those of you who are planning to live on campus, how to apply for housing and when you might be needing to move in. So we did drop the link in the chat. Definitely check out the Next Steps website to learn more about the different steps and requirements that you need to take in order to keep your admission decision. All right, so on the next slide here, we're going to take a look at the Connect, UC Merced Connect portal. So we just showed you the Next Steps website, and you might be wondering, okay, so how do I know if I'm meeting some of these requirements, or how do I keep track of that? On your Connect, this here is going to be your centralized digital gateway to all the information that's needed. It's going to compile all the information on here too. So once you log into your Connect portal, you'll see your My Financial Aid, admissions, information about admission events. You'll also see your student checklist, which is indicated with the red arrow, any information for housing, and also course updates. So if you do have changes to your your spring schedule, you can make those course updates, or if you've received, your grades already, any information that you want to provide us for your course updates can also be submitted through My Course Updates. But as we are talking about checklists and requirements, let's go ahead to the next slide to see what the checklist looks like. All right, so this is an example of a checklist. It's really important to understand that your checklist is personalized. So it's going to look really different from your friends or another student's checklist. This is full of helpful information, and it is also the best resource for knowing what your responsibilities are as an admitted UC Merced student. The checklist is a great way for you to keep track of any requirements. So you'll see on the screenshot here that there are requirements. Now, these are items that are needed to be met. You'll also see the status of the requirements, whether it's been satisfied or unsatisfied or pending. You'll also see as well the offices that are requesting for you to meet these requirements. These offices could be the Office of Admissions, Financial Aid, Orientation, or Registrar. To understand your checklist or how you are in terms of your status of meeting the requirement, if you see a red X, that means that the requirement has not yet been satisfied. If you're looking at your checklist and now you're no longer seeing the red X and you're seeing a yellow triangle, that means that you've submitted, any documentation or anything that's needed for that requirement, but it is still pending or under review by the office that is requesting for that item. And then if you're looking at your checklist and you do see a green check, that means that that requirement has been completed or satisfied, and there's nothing more for you to do. All right. Another important thing on the next slide that we're going to talk about is the conditions of admissions. Now, your checklist is going to tell you the important requirements and items that are being requested by the different offices. However, in order to keep your admissions, you need to fulfill your conditions of admissions. Your admission is provisional, and we do want you to maintain your eligibility. Failure to satisfy any of the conditions that are listed under the conditions of admissions will result in UC Merced withdrawing your offer of admission. The conditions of admissions are different for both first year and transfer students. So please do make sure that you visit our website, admitted.ucmerced.edu, to download the conditions of admissions that best matches the term that you've applied for, as well as the student status that you applied for, whether you're a first year or a transfer student. If you did receive non-passing grades, or if you changed your course schedule, notify our office immediately by going to your Connect and clicking on that little icon that says My Course Updates. This is where you'll want to provide us with any information regarding your class schedule. As we are talking about dates and deadlines and checklists and all of these requirements, a really important thing to mark on your calendars is June 1st. This is the deadline to submit your statement of intent to register for both first year and transfer students to UC Merced. So if you are looking to enroll at UC Merced, make sure that you do submit your statement of intent to register by June 1. This is you saying, yes, I want to come to your campus, please hold my spot. So June 1st, once again, is the deadline for both first year and transfer students for the SIR. In addition to the SIR, there is a requirement called the Statement of Legal Residence. Now, the Statement of Legal Residence is an online questionnaire that is going to ask students questions to determine if they will pay in-state or out-of-state tuition and fees. This requirement only applies to you if it is listed on your checklist and Connect. So if you're looking at your checklist and you don't see the Statement of Legal Residence requirement, you don't need to complete it. If you do find that you have the Statement of Legal Residence requirement on your checklist, please make sure that you're completing that requirement as soon as you can. You can submit your statement of legal residence before you submit your SIR. June 5th is the deadline for this statement of legal residency. However, the sooner you complete it, the sooner our financial aid office can review and process the information and make sure that your fees and tuitions are awarded for the right residency level. We did put it on here on the slide, but it is a $15,000 difference between in-state and out-of-state or non-resident tuition. So if this is on your checklist, please make sure that you're completing it as soon as you can. Here is an example of a financial aid award letter. So the UC Merced Office of Financial Aid and Scholarships begins sending students their financial aid award letters to students in March and on a rolling basis as well. So if you receive your financial aid award letter, that's great. If you're still waiting, it is on a rolling basis. It's really important that you are reading through your financial aid award letter to understand the award terms and conditions, as well as the different types of awards that are being awarded to you. You'll see in this screenshot here, the financial aid award letter does explain to you what a grant is, a loan, federal work study opportunities. So make sure that you do read through it to understand what types of awards and scholarships you may be getting. If you are a non-resident or out-of-state student, we do have the WUI or Western Undergraduate Exchange Program that you can participate in. So WUI is great because it does reduce the tuition for out-of-state residents. It is a big difference in terms of how much you can save. So students can save approximately $26,000 over the first year. That is a big difference. The WUI tuition discount is good for 4 years for incoming first-year students and 2 years for incoming transfer students, or until they graduate, or whichever comes first. For WUI, it is important to note that you do need to maintain enrollment at UC Merced to declare for WUI eligibility for the majors and programs. If you do change majors to a non-WUI major or program, you will be charged out of state. We'll also drop in the chat as well the link to the WUI information for those of you that are out of state or non-resident students. If you are a non-resident student and you may qualify for WUI, you can see more information about WUI for on your Connect. So if you log into Connect in the message center here, you'll see how you can access more information to just understanding more about WUI and how you can apply for it. On this slide here is a screenshot of the cost of attendance for this current academic year. This is the cost for what it would be to live on campus. You'll see the tuition fees here, room and board, books and supplies, transportation, personal expenses, and health insurance. Now, some of these are an estimate. So for example, it might look different in terms of personal expenses or books and supplies, right? However, for health insurance, if you are already covered through a health insurance plan that is equivalent to the UC's health insurance plan, you could potentially waive this fee. We will provide more information on the health insurance waiver for UC, but this is an example of what the cost of attendance would be like if you were planning to live on campus. It's really important that when you're looking at the cost of attendance, you're also looking at your gifts aid, right? How much financial aid are you getting through grants and scholarships that can be applied towards your cost of attendance? That will give you your net price or the price that you're paying out of pocket. So a really important thing is just to remember that although this is the cost of attendance, you also want to make sure that you're looking at your financial aid award letter to see how much aid and award you're getting for an academic year. All right, next slide. This is another screenshot of the cost of attendance. It is just an example to show you what it might be to live off campus or at home with relatives. For some of you, if you're living at home with relatives or your parents, you might not actually be paying for room and board. So these costs are for room and board, books and supplies, personal expenses. These are estimates. Health insurance, once again, if you have your own health insurance plan, that is equivalent to the UC's health insurance, you can potentially waive this. The transportation fee that is listed on here also covers the UC Merced cat tracks that students and staff can utilize. So for those of you who are living on campus and wondering what that transportation fee is, that does cover cat tracks. All right, next slide. This is an example or a screenshot of what it would be like for those of you who are planning to live on campus. So we have a breakdown of our housing meal plans. Here you'll be able to see based off of, the different types of room layouts. So if you want a single room, a double room, triple, or quad, right? That really determines the number of roommates you also have as well. So you'll be able to see a breakdown as well. There are different meal plans that you can choose from throughout the academic year, along with your room type. So this is just a screenshot. You can definitely take a look on our housing website to kind of see the different residential halls as well. But this is what the meal plan as well as the housing contract prices look like for the different options that we do provide for students for on-campus housing and meals. This is a picture of our Summit's residence halls, and this hall is actually the Half Dome Residential Hall. All right, so this is a picture of the academic walk, which is a really cool walk. Of course, it is part of the 2020 project that expanded the UC Merced campus. Now, when you're walking through the academic walk, what's really cool is you have student support services and programs all on the first floor. You also have academic classrooms. And then on the second and third and fourth floor, you have the residential halls. So a really cool thing about the buildings on academic walk is that they're mixed use buildings. So you have your classroom spaces, your spaces for different programs, offices, and then you have the residential halls. So how cool is it really to just wake up and walk down and go to class, or just walk down across your residential hall to go to like a program or receive a service. So for housing, for those of you who want to live on campus, a 2-year housing guarantee is available for first-year students. And if you are a transfer student, a 1-year housing guarantee is available for those of you who want to live on campus. We also have different living learning communities as well that you can choose. Living and learning communities are pretty cool because you're being housed in a residential hall with others who identify or have the same interest as you. We do have different living learning communities listed here. So for transfer students, for those of you that identify, identify with different communities, these are all available. You can learn more about our living learning communities on our housing website, as well as how to apply for them. So just some pictures about, just some pictures for our residential halls as well as spaces. Research has shown that students who live in university housing are more connected to the campus and academically successful than their peers. So once again, first year students are guaranteed housing for the first 2 years, and transfer students are guaranteed housing for the first year. UC Merced also strives to be a safe community as well. If you ever come to campus, you'll notice around our campus that we have these blue light poles. They're actually emergency blue lights, which are directly lined to the police dispatcher. So if you're ever walking around campus, let's say like you're studying late at night and walking back to the parking lot and you don't feel safe, you can actually use these emergency blue lights to call someone to walk back down to the parking lot with you. All right. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic over to my colleague, Alyssa, to talk a little bit more about housing and next steps.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alyssa Thiaga. I am our Northern California Sacramento admissions representative. So if any of you live in Sacramento counties, Solano counties, or anywhere above that, I am your representative. You may have seen me around your school. I am from the Central Valley, and I'm very proud and really excited for all the things that our campus has to offer. So we'll go ahead and get started with all the different opportunities that all of you get to have when coming to our campus. First off, when applying for housing, the first thing that you do have to do would be submitting your SIR by that June 1st deadline. After you submit your SIR, you would wait about 48 hours for that to process within our systems. Then that's when the housing application does open up. You do have up until June 6th at 4 p.m. to submit your housing application, and then you will be given a contract. So by that time, you can submit the housing contract by June 7th at 11:59 p.m. So really cool to make sure, just making sure you're getting those deadlines in as soon as you can. That way you do get that guaranteed housing. Next slide, please. And for all of our next steps, so these are all different things that you really have to consider when you're looking at your portal. So first things first, make sure you do check your UCM Connect portal to make sure you have all of that updated. Just like how Nancy was saying earlier, make sure you have all of your information up to date as soon as possible so you can access all of the forms to submit these by these deadlines. First deadline that we do have upcoming is the next one is going to be the May 15th. That is when, for my first year students, if you wanted to change your major or making sure that you do submit your major decision form, that is going to be by May 15th. The major confirmation form is due by then. So that is important to consider, because that way you can make sure that you have that major confirmed and you know what you'll be studying in the fall. If you decide to wait on that, the next chance that you have to declare your major would be up until fall 2023 grades are posted. So if you already know that you're going to confirm to that major, make sure you do so by that May 15th deadline. After that, May 17th and the 20th, that's going to be your transfer days. So we always encourage you all to come and visit our campus. If you haven't visited our campus and wanted to see how everything is like, I definitely encourage to go to transfer day, or if you're not able to make those days, definitely come and make a trip out. It is definitely worth seeing the campus, getting to be on the right way, just so you could see just how diverse the campus is and all the things that you could do. June 1st, that is going to be the statement of intent to register. So by that deadline, that's when you should be going in, submitting, saying that you are committed to coming to our campus. After that, June 5th, is going to be the SLR deadline. So if it does pop up on your portal, that is an important deadline to really consider. If it doesn't pop up on your portal, then you don't have to worry about it. Just make sure that you get that in by June 5th to submit that, to make sure that you are given that California residence. June 6th is going to be that housing application, and then the contract is going to be June 7th. If you had any changes in your courses, just like how Sheila was mentioning, if there was anything that you might have had any D or F grades, or you might have dropped a course, definitely report that in your My Course updates by that mid-June. That is an important one to really consider too, because as long as you get your grades in, then our evaluation team is able to go and confirm everything before move-in starts. July 1st, that is going to be the official deadline to submit your transcripts postmarked over to our Office of Admissions. If you send them by mail, they have to be unopened, sealed, sent over to our office, or if you decide to do so electronically, we do have vendors that are approved that you can send them to. July 7th through the 29th, that is also the orientation dates. We do have plenty of dates to look at when you are going to orientation. Every student is able to go, is mandatory to go to orientation too. So as long as you go in and pick those dates by that deadline, then you're able to go to orientation. If you took any AP or IB test scores, July 15th, that is going to be when any type of test scores are going to be due to our office. June 1st, or excuse me, August 1st is going to be that student health insurance waiver. So you can cut out that $2,300, save yourself on that by having that health insurance waiver if you already have health insurance through your family. After that, August 17th is going to be when you would be paying your tuition fees. mid-August, that's going to be when move-in day is around the corner. So that's a really exciting day for students and their families to see where they're going to be at for the next year. And then after that, August 24th is when instruction does begin. So there are lots of deadlines to really consider and make sure that you're on top of those. And I know that you are all on top of your deadlines and make sure you're getting them in right away. So as long as you do go in, you're able to enjoy your summer, enjoy yourself graduating and transferring and everything. So as long as you have that done, then you are good to go. And next slide, please. So every student does have to have a placement exam as well. So every student will need at least the writing and the math requirements. If you are any type of pre-health or pre-med major, chemistry major, those would need a chemistry placement test. And if you were a computer science engineering or any type of applied math computer science major, then that would need the CSE placement exam too. So depending on what major you're deciding on, some people might have to do all four, some it might just be 3 or just the 2. But as long as you go in and get those done by May 15th, then you're able to just go in and plan for it. A lot of times for the writing requirements too, you can fulfill that by having any, if you had a college course that might have satisfied it, or if you might have had any AP or IB test scores, or if you took the ACT, sometimes that could fulfill these requirements. So one major way to check and make sure is to check your Connect portal. Next is going to be student orientation. So the registration is open to go in and select which date you wanted to come for orientation. It is mandatory for each student to attend the student orientation too. We do have the list of all the dates all available to check out, and we do have lots of Spanish language options as well. So that is all available 24 hours after you submit your intent to register. Next slide too. And a cool thing too about the summer orientation is that you'll actually get your class schedule before orientation actually starts. So when you go in and register for your courses, our Bobcat advising team will reach out to you over the summer to help plan those types of courses that you want to do. That's when you can even mention to your advisor if you wanted to do a double major or if you wanted to do any other courses that you might be interested in over your time at UC Merced. So they'll actually be able to help you kind of plan through that. Next slide too, please. And with our campus, we have so many options for you to do any type of research that you do would you like to be a part of. So if you want to do any type of climate change research, if you want to do research with the environment, like with the drought, or drone type of research, we do have those options available for any type of student to check out. With our campus, it's tons of research and internships widely available. Next slide, please. And these are all the different ways that you can be involved. Just like how we were mentioning earlier with our partnership with Yosemite National Park, that's where you can actually do research at. So that is a really opportunity to be a part of, as well as other opportunities to do research on our actual campus, seeing those labs. So you could do lots of different opportunities there. And this Mars rover, this is actually built by UC Merced students, not the professors, not NASA. It was actual UC Merced students that have built this Mars rover. Cool thing to really note too is that we're actually ranked #1 in the whole UC system for the undergraduate research. So you can get involved in research as soon as your first, second year. So it does get your foot in the door a lot sooner too. So I highly encourage to check out those opportunities to get involved in research. No matter what you want to do, because you can go in and make your own research as well. If you have a professor that you're interested in having them conduct research with you, they'll be able to help you through that and discover your own research as well too. Next slide. And with all of the opportunities that we do have, we have so many more for transfer students or for extending veteran students. for anyone that might be the first person in their family, so that first gen, or anyone who might be undocumented. So there's lots of ways to get involved. So definitely take advantage of all of these resources that we do have. If you ever feel like you're in a type of crisis, you can come to our CAP center, where they will be able to help you with counselors to help you with any type of situation that you might be going through. We also have our Bobcat pantry available as well. So if you feel like you just want to go down to the Bobcat pantry, grab some cereal, you want to go to our community garden and pick some strawberries, you do have those options as well. So those are all really nice ways to be involved with our campus too, because they do offer that help for everyone. Next, please. With that, we do have our career center on campus. So we are really making sure that each student is set up for success. So we do give out that interview help. We give out resume help. We also have so many opportunities for you to network with future people that you might want to get jobs with in the future. So with all of these, there are lots of ways to get involved in so you can have that professional development after you graduate. And we do have so many trips that go out to the Silicon Valley, the Bay Area, San Francisco, and LA. So you are getting a lot of that help too, not just in Merced, but it's all over California. And our students, within 5 years after they graduate, majority of our students will go on to go and work at any of these companies. And there's plenty more. This is just a short list of the places that our students have gone on to get accepted at, that have gotten their career started at. So if you wanted to work at Apple, at Google, or Kaiser, whatever it may be, you have those options to work there. We do have a student recently that got an internship at NASA. So if that's something that interests you too, I highly encourage to check out that. Check out our opportunities where students can get involved and be a park ranger with the Yosemite National Park or National Park Services in California. Also, for anyone who wants to go into grad school, so many of our students do go on to grad school, whether it is med school or whether it is any other type too, like UCLA, Santa Clara, any of these places students have gotten accepted at. Also, another cool thing to know is that we do have a partnership with UCSF. So we do have our partnership UCSF in Fresno, where students have gone on to get that med career as well. Next. And I always encourage you all to check out all the things that you can do on campus. Another cool thing too is on the admitted website, admitted.ucmerced.edu. We do have a webinar if you wanted to check out the past recording, where we had students talk about all the different things that they've done on campus. So if you want to be a part of a boba tea club, if you want to be a part of our Black Student Union, or our Hermanas Unidas Club, there are so many ways to get involved. You're going to be at our campus for 4 years. So make those the best years and get involved, do things that make it a lot of fun too. Next. You also do have the option to start your own club as well. So that's another cool part about being part of a smaller campus, is you can be a part of that future history for future Bobcats that do come in, because as long as you have 4 other students with you, you can make your own club as well. So lots of all the life that you could do on campus. Of course, with all the research that we do have, our Aloha at UC Merced that you see here in the center, our sports, our Greek life. So you can definitely get involved anyway. Another cool thing is that we do have artists come out to our campus. So whether that's our version of Coachella, which we call Cowchella, or through our Treats and Beats, all of those are cool ways where you could see other rappers and artists come out and do a whole performance for our students. So it's a really cool way. Everyone's really lively and things going on campus. We actually have pretty much an event every single day going on. Next. And we do have our life on campus with our sports as well. So lots of ways to get involved if you wanted to do basketball, cross country, water polo, track. We do have all of those sports available. We are NAIA level, so they compete regionally within the California area. If you don't want to get committed to a full season of sports and might just want to do a club sport, we do have some that are like a Taekwondo club and a wrestling club. We even have our intramural sports. So if you wanted to be a part of just a pickup game of basketball or soccer, students can also do that option as well. And plus, given our location, our proximity to Yosemite National Park and our Lake Yosemite, you can also do any type of outdoor adventure. So if you like to go ziplining or like to go do any type of water skiing, we also have those options as well to do. And we do have some that go around the other areas like Lake Tahoe. So lots of cool things to check out. So this is all the information that we can all give to you. This is your time now. If you have any questions for us, feel free to leave those in the Q&A function and we can get those in our live channel. So I'll hand it over to Ricky and we'll go ahead with our live Q&A.
Thank you so much, Alyssa, and everyone tonight for presenting. This is one of the fun parts of this event too, is diving into the questions that are coming in live from all of our guests who are on with us. Many of those have been getting answered behind the scenes, which is great, but we did save a few special questions for the end. So let me go ahead and scroll through what we have here. So where should I turn in my transcripts?
Great question, Ricky. I'll go ahead and take this one. You are required to turn in all final transcripts, whether if it's your college transcripts or your high school transcripts, electronically. So it could be electronically delivered or approved via a vendor or delivered through postal service to the Office of Admissions. So your transcripts do need to be sent to the Office of Admissions. We'll go ahead and put on the chat the different ways you can submit your transcripts to our office, but those official transcripts do need to come to the Office of Admissions.
Very good. Next question. Are there resources for students who would like to live off campus?
I could go ahead and answer this one. Yes, so our housing department or office is really great at providing resources. When I was a student, I lived off campus for a couple years too. So I was able to find housing pretty quickly off campus. So yeah, I definitely recommend using our housing tool or our department to kind of navigate your way into finding housing. We also have our Merced station, which is through UC Merced, but it's off campus as well. It has your own room with your bathroom as well. You're just basically sharing living room, just basic common spaces. But yes, the housing office is really great at providing those resources.
Very good. Thank you so much. The next question, do I need to accept all of my financial aid?
Great question. So you do not need to accept all of your financial aid award. When you look at your financial aid, you'll see the different types of awards and aid that you are being awarded. You do have the option to accept or decline your financial aid awards and aid. So definitely look through your financial aid awards, see the ones that you want to accept and the ones that you want to decline. So you don't have to accept all of them. You can decline the ones that you don't want to accept.
Very good. This next question has to do with a course a student took last summer and the placement exam requirements. Let me go ahead and read the full thing to you guys. So I took a college course last summer. How do I submit a transcript for it? That's the first part of the question.
Yeah, so if you took a course last summer, you want to make sure that depending on whether if it was taken at a college or school, wherever you took that course, you need to have the school send out the transcript. So the school will have records of your attendance and your enrollment in that class. So if it was a summer course, make sure that if you didn't take it with your high school or your community college in a different school, that you're reaching out to the school to request for a transcript, because we'll want to know, where you took it, what grade you got. So you'll want to reach out to the school that you attended for that summer course to request for a transcript.
Very good. And now specifically, it is an English course that they took. And so they're wondering how they will know whether or not they should still take that English placement exam or not, or if that course maybe would kind of cross cancel that out.
Yeah, great question. So this course would depend. Certain courses will fulfill the writing one requirement. If it was a college course that you took online, please reach out to our transfer advising team so that we can figure out if it would be considered a UC transferable English course, because you may potentially fulfill the first writing one requirement with this course. So I'll go ahead and drop in the chat the email to reach out to a transfer advisor. That way we can help you figure out if it was an online course, if it fulfills the first writing one requirement.
Very good. Then one last piece to this one. If they do end up needing to take the placement exam, or for anyone that has to take a placement exam, how do they go about doing that? Do they need to sign up or show up someplace?
Yeah, if you do need to take a placement exam, whether if it's an English or a writing exam or like a math exam, you will receive email communications to let you know that you need to take those placement exams. But we'll also drop in the chat as well the link to the placement exam information. That way you can read through to see if you need to take certain exams. All incoming first year students do need to take an exam for writing and for math. So we'll go ahead and drop that link there.
Very good. Thank you so much, Sheila. The next question, what are the benefits or the drawbacks of living off campus or on campus?
Definitely some of the drawbacks of living off of campus, I would say, is just having to get yourself to come to campus. So if you're on campus, you're more than likely to attend all of your club meetings. You're always going to be doing your research, your events. So there's no way to kind of sleep in and not go to those things. So most times when students are living on campus, they do have a higher success rate in college because they're able to be a part of a lot more things. And they're able to attend all of their courses as well too.
Great points indeed. Thank you, Alyssa. Can we talk about the blue and gold opportunity and what that is exactly?
Yeah, so the Blue and Gold opportunity is a UC-wide, basically like a financial aid or a scholarship that we offer. So it is automatically applied when you submit your FAFSA or your California Dream Act. So you don't need to apply additional at another place. It's directly applied through your FAFSA or your California Dream Act. Basically, it's if you qualify for it, you need to meet certain criteria. So for that, you need to have an income below 80,000 for dependent students. This can also refer to your parents' income for independent. You need to be a California resident. You can also apply for the Cal Grant if you're not already a recipient. And you need to be in your first 4 years or 2 if you're a transfer student. So it's just an additional aid for you just because you're coming to a UC.
I want to add as well, Ricky, to what Nancy provided, is that the Blue and Gold Opportunity Plan is a plan. So it's not a grant or a scholarship that you will receive. It is a opportunity plan that consists of different types of grants and scholarships that you've been awarded. So as you're looking on your financial aid award, it's going to say Blue and Gold Opportunity Plan, and it's going to list the different types of grants and scholarships that you may be awarded through the Blue and Gold. So you won't see, for example, Blue and Gold, Opportunity Plan grant. You're going to see Blue and Gold Opportunity Plan, Bobcat grant, Cal Grant, scholarship. So that's the Blue and Gold Opportunity Plan. It is a plan that consists of different grants and scholarships. It is not its own individual grant or scholarship.
Fantastic information. Thank you both so much. And of course, if anyone ever has questions about what is in their financial aid award package, you all can always reach out to us. We have a Students First Center, which is our one-stop for all things related, all questions and answers for everything related to admissions, financial aid, registrar, anything on your checklist. Pretty much any question that you may have at this point in the process, you can start off at the Students First Center. We'll go ahead and drop that information over in the chat for you in just a second so you can reach out to them if you do have any questions. And if it, for whatever reason, doesn't relate to that specific office, I promise you they can direct you to the right place and get you that great contact information. Okay, next question. Are there class suggestions when we register? And is that based on major?
I can answer that one too. So when you do register over the summer, our Bobcat Advising Center will reach out to you as well too. So they'll actually help you plan those courses so you don't feel like you're just alone. If you're talking about taking any classes over the summer to be able to, well, this is for anyone who might be a first year student. But if you're planning on taking community college courses over the summer, we do really suggest if you want to take math or English, because that does help with the general education, getting that kind of out of the way. But other than that, we do have our Bobcat Advising Center that will reach out to you. And then if you ever have any questions, we do, if someone can actually drop down the link for the Bobcat Advising Center, especially for the the first year and transfer students.
I want to quickly add to that on the UC Merced Connect portal, which you'll be able to, how we went over earlier, there's also an icon called My Degree Path, and you'll be able to kind of plan out your whole degree within the next 4 years to 2 years too. So it's another great resource.
Very good. I just glanced at the clock and we've had so much fun here. I completely lost track. We are pretty much wrapped up and we've gotten to most, if not all of our questions, either live here at the end with these great friends of ours that are on screen with me here, or behind the scenes with all of our fast fingers, as we love to have there as well. So having said that, we do have one more slide that we would like to share with you. It is important, so you might want to go ahead and grab your smartphone and you can go ahead and take a quick picture of this slide as it pops up here for us. So you should be able to see the Contact Us slide there in front of you. Go ahead, take a quick picture of that for future reference. There's also, of course, a very handy QR code for you that you can scan as well. That will also bring up important information that you can take a look at a little bit later on. As you see, we do have all of our social media platforms. I'm guessing that most everyone on this event, you may have attended something in the past, so you might already be following us. But if you're not, if this is the first time that you're seeing those channels, go ahead and hop on over and start following us right away. We do update those pages every day with some type of information. It could be regarding some of the information you learned tonight, such as the next steps, all the important dates and deadlines that we have. So it's a really good resource for you to follow along, just as one more place as a quick reminder or a little nudge whenever those deadlines are quickly approaching. Having said that, I have a couple quick announcements. So you did hear earlier that June 1st is a very important date. So we will be talking about that on social media, as well as all of these live events that you are attending. But June 1st is your deadline for that SIR, which stands for Statement of Intent to Register. It's a critical day. You don't have to wait until June 1st. However, you can do that right away. You can do that as soon as we're done here in just a moment. So you want to commit to us by June 1st. That is a deadline for first year and transfer students. And what makes that date so important is that is how you commit to us. That's how you say, hey, look at me. I want to be a Bobcat. I want to join the Bobcat family. So make sure you mark your calendar, put that in your phone, or put a little Post-it note on your computer screen so you can get to that right away. Another update. We want to make sure that if you haven't yet had a chance to visit our beautiful campus, that you do take some time to visit us. So we do have a website that I dropped into the chat earlier, and one of my colleagues can possibly drop that again just for quick reference. And you can actually schedule a time, a family tour, a group tour. We also offer them in person in Spanish. So if that is a preferred language for you and your family, go ahead and request that, and we can definitely make that accommodation for your time to visit our lovely campus. Once again, that website is available, and we can go ahead and drop that in the chat. You can hop over and get yourself signed up right away. Another quick announcement, which we did talk about earlier, but we don't want you to forget, we do have a couple of transfer days coming up. We can go ahead and drop that link over into the chat box, but you can also mark your calendars for those days coming up, and you can get registered on the admitted page. That URL will be in the chat box, but it is admitted.ucmerced.edu/events. Pretty simple to remember. Hop on over, get yourself registered. And what you'll find on those admitted days for transfer students, you'll also have an opportunity for a tour on those days. So you can either attend one of those events, get the campus tour included, or schedule that separately. You'll also get a great opportunity to meet current transfer students. So who better to share an experience firsthand than our current students who are here, who are in the same shoes that you are. They were transfer students when they started. They can tell you exactly what it feels like to be in the process where you are right now. So please take a moment, hop on over, get yourself signed up. And once again, that contact information is up on the screen. So we want to make sure that you don't miss a future event. On that admitted and events page, you'll see many other events that have actually already happened. But you're in luck, we do record these events and those are available as an on-demand instant replay. So once again, bookmark that page. There's tons of great and valuable information there that we want to make sure that you do have an opportunity to check out. Once again, we've had so much fun tonight. Thank you to all of my friends who are on screen, everyone behind the scenes. We are fully staffed tonight, so thank you to everyone who's been a part of this great event tonight. Always so much fun to have you. We love meeting you this way, but we definitely hope to see you very soon on a campus tour, or possibly just in the fall whenever you come, if that's as soon as we can see you. Go ahead and take a look at that events page, get yourself signed up for something else in the future, and we will see you then. Have a great night, everyone.